I don't know, how do I answer that question?
It's a fair question.
No.
Jokes usually ugly.
Because that sounds like a ridiculous thing that you just said to me. So.
What? Hey, Morgan Evans, cheers.
Hey, cheers.
It's been a whole day since I've seen you.
Yeah.
Did you miss me last night?
It was a long night.
Was it? Well, welcome to Jolene's in Sydney.
Yeah, thanks. It's pretty badass little spot, isn't it?
Yeah, so you said you'd never been here before.
No, I didn't know places like this existed in Sydney. It feels like a Nashville honky tonk down here.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So you're going to jump on the stage and do a little performance?
We've been talking about that today. We'll have to come and do something here. That'd be really fun.
This really tastes like beer.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, have I just broken five and a half years of sobriety?
I love these things. I have been drinking these almost every day since I got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you drink much?
I don't drink that much anymore, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
When would you say in your life you drank the most? In your 20s, in your teens?
I would say my probably my 30s.
Your 30s?
Yeah. I would say up until recently, up until the last couple of years, I wasn't like had a drinking problem or anything, but it's just like in this business, as you might know. I mean, every day for us, we show up to a venue and there's like cold beers there and a bottle of tequila, and you got like 5 hours till the show starts, you know. So it's easy to do.
What else am I gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna help myself to the beer buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your new album.
Yep.
It's out now.
It is.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a great album. I've rinsed and repeated it.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your state of mind, I guess, when you were creating this album.
Yeah, well, I mean, the songs are kind of drawn from a wide period, kind of 3 years of writing songs, and so there's probably a few different states of mind on there that you can probably hear. But I will say that I wrote a lot of songs during that period, and the songs that I chose to put on the record were chosen very intentionally to, because they were some of my favorite ones for sure, but also to tell a story or to communicate something that wasn't being done by one of the other songs.
So how do you know then when to stop? You've got a body of work. Presumably you've got more tracks than you have space on the album. Although you can put as many as you want on the album, but how do you know when this album is finished?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, we may have talked about this before, but as a listener, I find really long albums almost intimidating to listen to, and I'll sometimes even put off listening to them, or I'll have to go do something else halfway through. And so when I was making this, I really wanted it to be concise, and I wanted every song to have a thing, and I didn't want to double up that song already does that kind of thing. And so it's 11 songs, or it's 10 songs and an interlude, so 11 tracks. And I think the moment I knew it was done, I thought it was done actually at 10. And one day I was driving around listening to an old Dropbox of songs from a certain period in there, and I heard Letting You Go. And I was like, there's something special about that. It's making me feel something, and it feels really good, and hasn't quite been said on the record yet. And so I called Lindsay, who I wrote that song with, and we finished that off, and that was like the last squeeze it in to the end of the record. So I think that was when I knew it was done.
So you say that you find that long albums can be intimidating. I feel like that with everything. Is it that our attention spans are just so short these days? Because I can't watch a movie without pausing in the middle of the movie and coming back to it the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I do fall asleep in the odd movie now, but
Yeah.
I think that's probably more to what time of the night I put it on. I don't know. Attention spans definitely have been roasted for sure. You might see that in your business on the radio. You know, maybe you're producing things differently, but at the same time, then things like this are bigger than ever. And for a long drive or something, I'll always put a podcast on at some point, and it'll get you through it, or a flight or something. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just people are consuming things differently. I just think as a music fan, I think back to my favorite records, and they all have 11 to 13 tracks on them.
That's the sweet spot for me too.
Yeah, and maybe that's just because how I was trained as a listener.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if I was 15, 16 now, I'd be trained for I want more, you know, but...
give me the sped up version of this.
Yeah,
yeah. On TikTok.
The TikTok thing, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, all that stuff aside, I feel like I made this record first and foremost for me, and so I I wanted to make something that I was really proud of and loved, and that's what it is.
So you mentioned that you listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
You're a podcast guy.
I mean, I wouldn't say that was like a defining personality trait of mine, but
No, your whole personality.
yeah.
What sort of podcasts do you listen to? I'm just trying to picture you in your like downtime. Like, what are you doing?
I am a big Jim Jefferies fan.
Oh, I love Jim Jeffries.
I love Jim Jeffries. And so if he's on a podcast, I don't even really care what it is. Like, I'll probably listen to that. There's something about the way he talks and just like his personality that just it kind of, maybe it's because I'm in America, it makes me feel he's very Australian, even though he's lived overseas a long time. Just the way he communicates with people reminds me of being back home and makes me laugh out loud by myself, which I think is a pretty huge thing.
Have you ever partied with Jim Jeffries?
I've never partied with, I've never met him actually. I
partied with Jim Jeffries.
Have you? Tell me that story.
I'm not telling you that story. That is for the subscribers only.
Okay.
But he brings it up in his stand-up show. He talks about how, like, he's like, oh, in this room there's like a whole bunch of people that I've partied with, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, right.
That was a big night.
Keep going.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
In fact, I even deleted the photos from my phone of that night. That's how intense partying with Jim Jeffries is, or was. This
is like the ultimate trailer right now to something. I feel like.
Last time we spoke, you told me about haunted house that you were in.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that? Are you still in that house? Because you had something that was moving around the house with you.
So it turns out that the house was actually not haunted, and that it was actually like level 3, evacuate now, uninhabitable for human beings, mold level in the house, and. I actually experienced some mold poisoning last year, and it was really rough actually. Like it was rough physically and mentally, and I couldn't sleep. And probably the second 6 months of last year were just kind of like just have this fog over them from that. So the haunted house that was very exciting to move into for a minute turned out to be kind of a disaster.
A moldy disaster.
Yeah, I don't know I didn't know anything about mold. I was just feeling bad, and I wasn't being unhealthy, and so I went and got like all the, blood tests and physical tests or whatever, and everything came back like I should be healthy. And one of my mates was like, "Have you tested the place for mold?" And we got like an independent mold person to come around and check, and he sent the report, and it was just like red letters, like you gotta get out of here.
God.
Yeah. So I'm grateful we found it like after a few months and not. After years, because since that, I feel like I've heard, speaking of podcasts, the fellow that does the Modern Wisdom podcast, he just did this documentary about like living in a moldy house for 2 years and like what it can do to you and stuff. So this is probably the most boring stuff for a podcast ever, but that's what happened. Yeah.
Mold talk. They've all come in droves.
Be careful. Like, be aware of it. I mean, I since I've learnt about it, it's become. I was chatting to a mate the other day who has brain injuries, and he was just saying that like mold toxicity can actually mirror a brain injury in a lot of ways too. And so he was sort of like telling me some of the symptoms of what he's had, obviously much worse than my experience, but I was like, oh yeah, totally. That's kind of, and he was kind of speaking to the severity of it for him, living with a brain injury and like having to be conscious of mold as well. So this is a health podcast now, and you look out for yourself.
Look, you know what my next question is going to be. Did the mold affect your pickleball? I'm joking. Let's move away from the mold.
Yeah, it definitely affected my songwriting though. It slowed me down a lot. Like it was an awful experience, like mentally. I'm sure, like with you, like your sharpness is one of the things that makes you great at what you do, and it's like similar in songwriting. So it's like
Morgan Evans just said I was great at what I do.
Oh, you don't end up here by accident doing all this. We're working with a guy like this, So it does slow you down, and it can affect your confidence, and it's not a great experience. So, yeah.
We chatted the other day, and you were talking about the album, and when you were making the album, you said you looked back at a video of yourself, which broke my heart, and has also been on my mind since we spoke.
Yeah.
You saw a video of yourself doing an interview in this like really dark period, and you said you just looked really sad.
Oh, yeah.
I can't shake that in my head of you sitting around looking really sad in an interview.
It was on the internet.
Okay.
It was an interview I did with Bobby Bones that I'm thinking about. Yeah, and it's just like the saddest guy in the world on the radio, Yeah.
Why would you do an interview if you were that sad?
Well, it was around that time when I'd written Over For You, and then a week later I played it at CMC Rocks here up in Queensland, and I played it just sort of on a whim, and people videoed it and put it up online, and it had gone kind of viral everywhere, and so. Everyone was like, we need to put this song out, and we'd kind of recorded the song anyway when we wrote it. The demo that we'd done was so close to kind of where it ended up as the master anyway, so I guess when you put a song out, you go promote it, and I was just like, oh cool, go promote this song. And Bobby's show is the biggest show in country radio, right? It's like, I guess I didn't really think twice about it. I was just like, oh, I'll go. And Bobby, has been a friend of mine for a long time too, so I went in, and then I guess I didn't think about what I'd be talking about and how it'd be, what the experience of that would be. And so, it's just, I can't remember the context we were talking about it, but I think I just remember like going, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have been doing interviews at that point,
Have you ever cried during an interview?
You know what? I haven't cried during an interview, but earlier today I was doing an interview about my late manager, and we were reliving that period. And he passed. He was my manager for like 10 years, and he passed like right after we put Kiss Somebody out. And so having that conversation earlier today was kind of the closest I think I've got. Yeah.
Could still happen.
Yeah, could still happen. Are you trying to get me to cry right now? Let's talk about the mould more. Then that makes me sad too.
Yeah, it's my goal today, is to make you cry. You're a good-looking guy. Everybody says it.
Thank you.
It's literally on emails that we send to each other at work. We're like, hey, Morgan Evans is coming in. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, right.
The whole camera crew.
Okay.
Are you aware
Fantastic.
of how good-looking you are?
I don't know. How do I answer that question?
It's a fair question.
No.
Jokes, really ugly.
Because that sounds like a ridiculous thing that you just said to me. So.
What? He's a good-looking guy. As my boss is here today watching this.
Yeah, he used to be my boss too. He was so many layers above me that he never actually had anything to do with me, but yeah.
He never told me
back
this.
in the day.
When I was like, oh, that good-looking rooster Morgan Evans, he never said, oh, yeah, I was his boss.
I was a lowly production assistant intern while I was kind of doing university, and I would come in and help out with the odd thing for Channel V or Max or Country Music Channel.
Yeah, right.
And
look at you now.
Oh, Big Dog over here is running the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, the boys growing up. And now he's mine. I could be the next Morgan Evans.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to you being really good looking. So I want to talk to you about like who's in your DMs all the time. Are people in your DMs? Are girlies in your DMs? 100% they are.
Girlies in my DMs?
Of course they are.
No.
It sounds like a country song.
I mean,
girlies in my DMs.
Honestly, I feel like maybe, a few years ago with all the shit that I went through, I feel like I got pretty healthy social media habits.
Okay.
I don't really go into the DMs too often.
Okay.
Yeah, I have like, whatever the setup is where there's like, how there's like different categories, like more close friends and not. Yeah. And so I see like stuff from my mates or family or whatever, or people that I know.
Okay, so who's throwing up or throwing out their underwear on stage then? Is that happening? I'm finding this really hard to believe that there's not like a gaggle of women outside this room.
We've had, there's been, I guess maybe there's been a bra or two over the years. It's not like going to like a John Farnham concert or something. When I was a kid, I remember going to a John Farnham concert and there were people like giving him like flowers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, that hasn't become a thing at my shows yet.
Okay.
Maybe it will after this interview.
What about signs? Because there's a huge thing at the moment where people are trying to get the artist's attention. They're making signs. They're doing the Snapchat thing that's like,
Yeah.
What signs have you seen?
I do love a sign. They're usually around a song,
Yeah.
or like can I sing this song with you or something like that, or I'm trying to think. I do see those like people holding the screens up.
Yeah.
Is that on Snapchat?
Snapchat.
It's like a yellow screen.
Yeah.
That's hard because it's hard to read.
Yeah.
And so I'm singing and I'm trying to read the thing, and it's
Yeah.
like kind of, unless you're in the front row, it's
Yeah.
kind of a pointless thing
You're like,
to do.
wait a minute, let me put my glasses on.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah,
saying?
yeah. But anyone that goes to the effort of making a sign, I will definitely read that.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely, whatever it is, I will try to make that happen.
Okay,
You know?
what's the best sign you've seen?
I like the first concert ones.
Yeah.
Like it's like whoever, my kid's first concert or whatever, and then like getting to meet that person. Because I remember my first concerts, and I feel like I remember it, and I didn't get to meet whoever it was. I didn't have any experience like that, but I think it's cool to like see a little like future rocker, you know? It's cool.
What was your first concert then?
My first concert ever was The Seekers.
Okay.
And I was pretty young, and I went with my folks. And then my first concert without my parents was when I was like 14. My next door neighbors had a metal band, and I was obsessed with their metal band. And when Slipknot came out on their first tour, they took me from Newcastle down to Sydney to go see Slipknot at the Hordern Pavilion. And it was crazy for a 14-year-old.
I remember when Slipknot came out, and I remember queuing to meet them. They did like a meet and greet.
Oh, no way,
and
cool.
I got my album signed by all of them. And I just remember, it's so stupid now, but like all of the girlies were like, oh my God, that one's really hot. They're literally wearing
The
masks.
mask guys, yeah.
There was like the slightly less scary mask that all the girls were into. I was like, oh my, I think it was Joey.
He was the drummer.
Okay.
Yep.
Was he slightly, was his mask?
I was a 14-year-old rocker.
can't
I wasn't
remember.
thinking about what they looked like at all. I was just loving it.
I used to love Slipknot.
Yeah, me too. That
Yeah.
first record was very, it was kind of hitty. Like it had like proper songs on it, you know. I haven't stayed up with their catalog. I know they're still like legends, but at that time I was obsessed with that.
Do you ever cover a Slipknot song?
I don't know if I could do any of those justice. Maybe I could do Wait and Bleed a little bit. I just don't know what I'd do in the scream part.
I feel the air rise up in me.
Yeah.
Feel down here. Come on, you're the singer. I wander out where you can't see. Inside Rochelle, I wait.
Proper fan, yeah. Totally. I used to try to scream though, because I was super into the Foo Fighters as well.
Yeah.
And like, obviously so many of their choruses are screamed, you know, and I just have never had a scream. My brother could scream though.
Yeah.
And so he was in my band. So if there was a scream bit, he would do the scream.
So, were there things on the album that you wanted to get off your chest that now you've got off your chest? Because you didn't write for ages, or you didn't release for ages.
Yeah, for sure. I think this record, it like just deals with some stuff, you know? There was a long time, I haven't done press for years, which is probably why I'm rambling and talking about mold houses for way too long. But yeah, I feel like this record really deals with some stuff that I had been an open end for me.
Yeah.
And it feels really good to have that behind me personally, but also now creatively. And like, I was just thinking the other day, like, it's the funny thing when you finish a record, you're like, oh, what's the next one going to be about, you know? And so it's fun to have written the first couple of songs back and just kind of work out where that'll lead to. And so, yeah, I'm as excited about music as I've ever been.
Well, it's funny because, you know, you go into an interview, you talk about this body of work that you've created, or your tour, or whatever you're talking about, and then the last question, certainly from me, is always, okay, so what are you doing next? And it's like, babes, I've just done all this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, give me a minute to breathe.
Exactly.
But I know that, you know, your next step will just be pickleball, molds, podcasts.
Yeah.
You're going to start a mold podcast.
I could do a podcast on mold actually after this experience.
Listen to it, just so you know.
Okay.
The girlies that may or may not throw their underwear at you will definitely listen to the mold podcast. So I look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I hope they're staying healthy wherever they are.
Before you go,
Yeah.
I know you say that, like, you know, you don't get things thrown at you on stage, but I got given this rose today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to Morgan.
What? What, is there something in here alive or something?
No, it's literally, they were giving them out, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it to Morgan.
Well, thank you.
As a prop for
Wow.
the interview. So that's for you. I don't want you to think this is a date, though, so just you know.
Okay, fantastic. I'll be sure to take good care of it. I've never been given a flower before. But
Have you never been given a
fantastic.
flower
This is my
before?
first flower. Yeah, wow, look at that. Flowers for everyone. What were they just giving them out on the street, were they?
Yeah, it was a stupid radio thing. It's nothing to do with me.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Can we play pickleball soon?
Yeah, let's play it. We should.
Okay.
We should next time I'm in town. We should get a game going together. This is a big rose. Is that not a big
Yeah,
rose?
it's really big. They pulled the things out.
Oh, that's what they've done. They've pulled them out. Yeah.
But you can give it to your girl if you want.
Crazy.
I won't be upset if you give it to your girl.
Can't really smell much. Though. It's like a. Is that what happens when you pull it out? The smell goes away.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful though. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was loose.